After reviewing dozens of the world's best suitcases, I've picked my top 10 for different use cases and at different price points, so you can easily find the best one that suits your needs. And the best part is that each suitcase I'm going to talk about in this video has its own in-depth review, which you can always find linked in the description below. And a special shout out to Unbound Merino for partnering with us on this video. More information about them in a minute. Now, before we get into the actual list, let's talk about a couple of things that you might want to be on the lookout for when it comes to picking a suitcase for your travels. Because you got a lot of different styles of suitcases. And to be honest, a lot of the ones that we're going to talk about in this video are not your obvious brands. The Samsonites, the Julys, the Aways. There's so many videos covering those and they're great brands, but we wanted to bring something a little bit different to the table and show you some other suitcases that we think need to be on your radar for different reasons. Some things to consider are going to be your price point. You can spend $100 on a suitcase or $1,000 on a suitcase. But a lot of the ones that we're going to talk about in this video are going to be anywhere from like $200 to $300. We like that price point because we find that it's sort of the best of all worlds, as to where you're getting a quality piece of gear that'll last for years and years, but without having to drop like your entire paycheck on it. And a lot of the brands that we're going to discuss here do have multi-year or lifetime warranties, which help to give you a little bit of extra bang for your buck. Some other things to consider are the aesthetic. Do you want something that looks good while you're on your travels, or are you just looking for pure function? Also, handle size. A wide handle like on this level 8 is going to give you a bit more stability as you're pushing it through crowded airports. But a regular handle like on this Bellroy allows you to pair it up with a backpack that can easily slide over the handle, which is really convenient if you're traveling with a larger personal item. Another option to consider is whether you're going to get a hard shell or a soft shell. Honestly, most people are getting hard shells these days, but if you ever watch a pilot who travels, he's always got a soft shell suitcase. And the reason is there's a lot of advantages to soft shell suitcases. Namely, they can pack a little bit better and they're lighter weight. Also, you want to consider, like, is this trying to be a carry-on or a check-in? I think check-in, you're probably always safest to go with a hard shell, but that's also why a lot of people get hard shell for their carry-on, because airlines are getting more and more strict these days. So you might think that you're carrying it on, but then you're in Europe or Asia and they're like, actually no, surprise, you're checking that. So airline policies are always something you have to keep in mind. And the last thing to consider is whether or not you want or need some sort of quick access. You can see right here on this 4x2 suitcase, we have this front panel, which you can unzip and then grab your smaller bits of gear, or larger, like your laptop and charger. Some people prefer to have this built into their suitcase. Other people though, like myself, might prefer to keep this stuff in a small backpack and or duffel that I'm gonna pair with the suitcase. But in an ideal world, you would definitely be using a suitcase that is lighter weight, super durable, easy to cruise around with, and doesn't come at too high of a price point. Just like the partner of this video, Unbound Merino. If you don't know, Unbound Merino is one of the world's best travel clothing companies, and they're my personal favorite. And their clothes are made from merino wool, which are the ideal fabric for travel clothes because they're moisture wicking, bacteria and odor resistant. They pack down super easily and they dry extremely fast. It's just everything that you would want out of travel clothes. But my favorite part about Unbound is you get all those benefits from their clothes, but you also get to look good in the process. For me, their hoodie and pants combination is the best. You look sleek and ready to go without ever sacrificing comfort. So I can be nice and cozy in my flight, and I know that once I land at my destination, I can just jump in a meeting and be good to go. We're very selective about who we partner with on Nomads Nation, and for us, Unbound Merino was an easy choice. To learn more about them and their amazing travel clothes, be sure to check the pinned comment in the description below. And in that comment, you can see we have a 10% discount code exclusive for members of the Nomads Nation community. Okay. Let's talk about some suitcases. First up on our list is the Level 8 Voyageur carry-on. Now this is a really cool suitcase because it's doing a couple innovative things that we really like. In fact, so much that our media manager, Margaret, this is like her go-to suitcase. And you can see, it's got some wear and tear, dude. She's beat this thing up. Where are we taking this, Margaret? Thailand, you said? And Taiwan. You can see right there, we got the proof. Hong Kong Airlines to Bangkok. She's taking this around the world. And she has her choice of suitcase, and her and I reasons are the same as to where we quite like this because it looks good and it functions great at the same time. It's got that wide mouth handle, which you're either gonna love or you're gonna hate. But again, if you're not looking to pair your suitcase with a personal item over the luggage pass-through sleeve, then you don't need that regular handle. You can go wide. and you won't regret it. We got the TSA lock. It's super smooth 4 wheels. And one thing I like about this suitcase is it has these plastic parts on the side and on the back. And they just help when you're putting the suitcase down on the side or on the back, and make sure the suitcase gets less scratched over time. You can see we have the sideways opening with plenty of organization, dividers on each side, and the wide handle design pushes them out a little bit as opposed to being right here dead center, which I think gives you actually a little bit more packing space overall. And Margaret says that she loves it's so strong and durable she can actually sit on the suitcase and slide around with it. And that's how you know it's high quality. Overall, it's a good looking suitcase that's also quite durable. As of recording, the suitcase comes in 5 different color options and it runs around 250 USD. And to learn more about it, check the description below and you'll find a link to our full review. Next up on the list, we have the Bellroy Transit Carry-On. Bellroy is an Australian-based carry company known for making killer bags and wallets. And this is their first sort of exploration into the world of suitcases. And I'm not gonna lie, they're killing it so far. It's definitely a simple but beautiful suitcase. And that's sort of like Bellroy's MO. Simple with a gorgeous aesthetic. But one of the most interesting things about the suitcase is that it's developed in a way that can always be repaired by yourself. Yeah, they literally made it and designed it so that if you take it to like a local shop where they fix luggage, they can handle that. You don't need to like send it back into Bellroy. You don't need to get a new one. And that's a little touch that can go a long way, especially if you're using the suitcase over years and years. Love Bellroy's little touches like this handle, the texture, the design, it's just beautiful. You can see in the main compartment we have some organization. These packing cubes are included with the suitcase, which I'm not really a fan of because I like to use my own packing cubes and I don't want to pay the extra price for Bellroy's packing cubes. But you can see Bellroy has all these beautiful little touches with the fabrics, zipper pullers, and this polycarbonate hard shell was designed in a way to protect the corners. So you can see you have this like reinforced area right here because Bellroy said in their research that's where they found out that suitcases have a tendency to break the most. And one last note, they design it in a way that the handle is visible from the outside, which actually does give you a little bit more packing space on the inside of the suitcase. There's 2 sizes. This is a smaller one and it costs 300 USD and it currently comes in 4 color options. Full review linked below. Next up, we got the Bagsmart Getaway Carry-On. Bagsmart's a more budget-friendly brand. We reviewed some of their bags recently. I'm pretty impressed by them. And this is definitely gonna be the most budget-friendly option on the list at 160 USD. So again, it's not cheap, but we do think it's a good price in regards to the amount of quality you'll get for the price that you pay. And this luggage definitely gives you some bang for your buck. We got very smooth and shock-absorbing 4-wheel design, handle on the top and a handle on the side, TSA compliant lock. My code is 000, tell no one. And plenty of organization in the main compartment, including a divider section right here, which is kind of old school, but also kind of works, right? Because you got the divider, you got your clothes underneath, and then you compress these guys, and it does help to create a bit more space. So you're getting actually a lot of features for the lower price point. And last but not least, most important one, is the expansion zipper right here, which can get you from 40 liters to 48 liters. It should be noted for a suitcase in this price range, you're not gonna have as high quality of a material, right? Like this is still very secure, but the more expensive suitcases just obviously feel even more secure. But if you're on a bit of a budget and you want a killer suitcase at 160 bucks and currently coming in 3 color options, it's definitely hard to beat. Next up, we got the 4x2 tank carry-on suitcase. And I think this is a suitcase that will appeal to the ladies out there for a few reasons. One is all the different color options, but 2 is gonna be this handle, which as you can see right here, has a very different design, which is in fact patented by 4x2. And you can see it perfectly fits the 4x2 tumbler. Some other cool things about this suitcase are the super smooth wheels, the handle being on the outside to save some internal space. We have another expansion zipper, and like we showed you earlier, this quick access pocket, which I'll be honest, I'm not crazy about personally, but I know a lot of people out there like the ability to quickly access stuff because again, they're not traveling with a second bag. I always travel with a second bag, a small backpack, maybe a messenger bag, maybe a duffel. So I just don't need this. My laptop and all my gear will be in there. But if you don't, and you just want to take this one suitcase, then this is where you'll put your laptop, tablet. But keep in mind, you can't put a ton of stuff in this pocket because look, there's not a lot of capacity, right? And if you're wondering how do you get into the main compartment, oh, I'll feed you little birdies. You can see it's actually done through here as well, which is nice because we're actually dealing with less zippers now, but it will also constrict access to the main compartment, so a bit of a pro and a con there. Ooh, and one final note, next to the TSA lock, we have this charging area right here, which means when you're popping your phone on this handle, catching up on the newest episode of The Last of Us, you can actually charge your phone simultaneously. Bada bing, bada boom, best of all worlds. The 4x2 carry-on currently comes in 3 sizes, and each size comes in 7 different color options. And the price will run anywhere from $320 USD to $430 USD. Next up, we got the Peak Design Roller Pro. Similar to Bellroy, Peak Design was also a backpack company. They made some killer gear. And they just started diving into the world of suitcases with this bag, which raised about, I don't know, like $1 bajillion on Kickstarter. This is a great pick for you if you're looking for a very feature-heavy suitcase, and budget is not a problem. It's sort of a soft, hard shell fusion with this really nifty quick access pocket at the top, which is ideal for your laptop and tech gear. Peak Design spent a ton of time on this handle, making sure it's not like you know what I'm saying? And I can definitely say it's significantly stronger than your typical luggage handle. But most interesting of all, I think, is the opening for the main compartment. As to where it's not your traditional style suitcase that opens up like a briefcase. You've got this opening right here, as where it's like a drawbridge opening. And also, it's compatible with Peak Design's camera cube. So if you're a photographer and a traveling photographer, this whole gig is supposed to be like next level. But you can see right here, if you're not traveling with camera gear, you basically just put all your clothes in here, which can be tied down with the compression straps. And this is really handy like when you're in those tight European hotels. There's not a lot of space, right? So you can't put your suitcase down and like open it up. You just gotta open it like so. And you can take these drawbridge strings off altogether or tighten them to the location that works for your needs. And then you get this cool drawbridge opening effect, which I am a fan of. The suitcase also gives you some decent expansion, external lash points if you want to carry things on the outside of your suitcase, and some very smooth wheels. The Roller Pro currently comes in 3 color options, and I wasn't lying about it not being cheap. This thing is like $600 bucks. But Peak Design has one of the best warranties in the game, so that should hopefully take the edge off that high price point. So in case anything goes wrong with the Roller Pro, you know you're covered. Next up, we have the Aer Carry-On. Aer, yet again, another backpack brand. Just started selling suitcases and they freaking rock. Especially if you're looking for a simple suitcase that has extra protection. Love what they did with the handles here. These just feel like they're never, ever going to break. And you got one on the side as well. And this is one of the few brands that's actually utilizing Hinomoto wheels. Hinomoto is a Japanese company. They're known for making the best wheels that luggage can use. And these just feel incredibly smooth. One cool thing that the Aer Carry-On does as well, as you can see, underneath the handle, you got this little locking mechanism, which actually locks those Hinomoto wheels, therefore allowing you to keep the suitcase pretty stationary. This is a really cool feature if you're, in train stations in Europe or airports, whatever it is, the suitcase can kind of slide away from you sometimes. Sometimes the glidiness of these wheels can be a double-edged sword. So the ability to go from this to this can be a bit of a lifesaver sometimes. Main compartment is super simple. We have a compression divider on this side and a regular divider on the other side. But overall, I do think what you're paying for with this suitcase is the polycarbonate Macrolon exterior. It's incredibly durable, and let's be honest, also beautifully designed. This suitcase runs anywhere from $300 to $330 USD, depending on what size you get. This is the Carry-On Regular. They also have the Carry-On Max. And as a recording, it comes in 4 color options. Next up, we got the Nomatic Carry-On Executive, which I believe used to be named the Carry-On Pro. And it's a suitcase that I personally have a ton of experience traveling with. Nomatic's known for making very business-friendly bags and travel gear. And you can see I beat this thing up over the years, man. And I love this for those light little weekend to week-long trips where I don't want to bring a lot of stuff, but it's definitely more of a work trip. And the biggest reason for that is this quick access compartment right here. This gives you access to the main compartment, and it also comes with the Nomatic Tech Case, which slides perfectly into this compartment, giving you quick access to your laptop. This is definitely gonna be one of the smallest suitcases on the list, as it's only 29 liters. And it feels even a little smaller than that, especially if you're using this side for tech stuff, because you got the handle kind of bulging out right here. But honestly, if you're a minimalist packer, there's something just so speedy and seamless and streamlined about just having a 29-liter suitcase with you, maybe like a small bag to go with it. I gotta say, in the many times that I've traveled with this suitcase, it's been an absolute joy to use. And just as importantly, this bag is utilizing silent Hinomoto wheels, which is gonna give you a super smooth commuting experience. Again, not a cheaper option, coming in at $549 USD, but it does come with that tech case, and all Nomatic suitcases come with a lifetime warranty and repair guarantee. I beat the crap out of this suitcase. I loved using it. To learn more about it, links below. Now, next up, we got 2 suitcases from the same company called Airback. Airback is a European brand, and you may have seen their Instagram ads because they have a crazy marketing budget because all of their suitcases can do this. Cover your ears, Margaret. See how it's sucking in the air? So as you can see, this vacuum can compress this vacuum sealed section of the suitcase on both versions, whether it's the soft shell or the hard shell, therefore allowing you, in theory, to pack more stuff with less space, right? Now, Airback has some pretty, I would say, aggressive claims about how much space you can save, which I don't 100% agree with in my experience, but I will say it definitely does save space. Maybe not 100%, but like 20% for sure. The vacuum's very effective, but also sold separately. And the vacuum sealed section has this really thick zipper, which makes sure that all air is kept in. Truth be told, a feature like that can be a little gimmicky or extremely awesome, just depending on what you're hoping to get out of it. Because the negative side is that you're getting a lot of extra weight with these suitcases from Airback. So if you're hoping to cut down on weight with that, it's not really gonna help because you're gaining weight with the vacuum and with all the nicks and knacks and features on these bags. But if weight is not important to you and you really wanna have a certain size suitcase and you wanna be able to pack more in that suitcase, you don't mind spending extra for the vacuum compressor and all that, then there is something to be said. These things are selling like crazy for a reason. The hard shell in particular is interesting too, because there's no zipper. Fingers beware. I nicked the hell out of myself when I was doing the full review of this thing. But the no zipper is actually quite interesting because it allows you to really close this thing pretty strongly. And zippers are a point of potential breaking, right? Zippers can fail. So this is one less thing you have to worry about breaking while you're on your trip. So you can see the vacuum sealed compartment on this side. Each one has TSA locks. The hard shell has a wide handle. And what's interesting about the soft shell is that it's a regular handle here, but it can also transform into a backpack. Not a great one, but one that can get the job done if you ever want to carry your suitcase in backpack mode. Overall, the Airback suitcases can be a bit controversial, but they can be great for the right person, which is why we felt like we had to include them. Now, we did a review of the hard shell here on Nomads Nation, but we did a review of the soft shell on our sister channel, Gear for the Girls, which I highly recommend checking out, which we'll link to in the description below. And the last suitcase on this list is the Lite Carry-On from Bellroy. It's the second Bellroy suitcase that we're featuring on this roundup, and for good reason. They make great stuff, and this one's really interesting and could be perfect for the right person. As to her namely, look at this, dude. It's like a soft shell backpack, and it's only on 2 wheels. Now, 2 wheels are less popular than 4 wheels with suitcases, but it has 2 distinct benefits. One, less breaking points. 4 wheels is twice as likely to break as 2 wheels. I think that math checks out. And the wheels used on these have a tendency to be significantly more durable. Those are roller skate wheels right there. Sole skaters for life. But the other benefit for 2 wheels is if you're traveling, especially in Europe. Think those cobblestone streets in France? The 4-wheelers are gonna have a hard time going over those, but this dude, it's like a freaking tank. You just drag it over top, you're good to go. And obviously the soft shell is gonna come in significantly lighter. And it's kind of beautiful. I love this clay color. You can see it opens sideways, plenty of packing space, internal divider already included, lockable zippers, and a very nifty thing where you can actually stow away the luggage handle. I almost feel like they should have made the ability to also turn it into a backpack. That would have been so cool. I don't think it would have worked very well, but it just would have been cool to see. But overall, it's super light, really fun, and only runs 250 USD. And it does come in 3 different color options. Now, if you're still watching this, you might be a little overwhelmed with all the options in the market and in this video. And I get it, it's tough to choose. So I recommend maybe taking a look at these guys, the Level 8 Voyageur and the Bellroy Transit Carry-On. They're kind of like a tale of 2 cities. One is a wide handle, one is a regular handle. One's a bit more square-like in aesthetic, one's significantly more circular, but both are gonna be very durable, have a great aesthetic to them, and get you to where you need to go without being like the heaviest or most expensive suitcases on the market. And if you wanna learn more about these suitcases, be sure to watch these videos right here. A special shout out again to Unbound Merino for partnering with us in this video. To get their exclusive 10% coupon for the Nomads Nation community, check the pinned comment below. My name is Aaron, this is Nomads Nation, and we'll catch you next time.